Oxygen's powerful conditions feature means you can build truly dynamic and intelligent designs that only show what's needed when it's needed. You can even use conditions to personalize the experience based on the user that's viewing the site. Let's jump into Oxygen and I'll show you how conditions work. So if I select an element and then on the right-hand side go over to the Conditions tab, I can create conditions. Let me click Edit Conditions, and if I add a new one, I get to choose my condition. This is basically deciding what we want to compare. So these are specific post types. We have user conditions such as logged in status, user role. For instance, you could show something only to administrators, which is super handy when you're testing something and don't want all of your site visitors to see something right away. You can also base the visibility of elements on user registration date. We can show or hide things based on the browser, operating system, or what the content was created with. We also have some date and time conditions and referrer conditions. So as you can see, there are a ton of options that give you a lot of granularity in how to display and when to display your content. One of the most powerful options, though, is the custom PHP condition, which allows you to actually write a condition in PHP, which means virtually anything on your site can be used to determine whether a piece of content or a design is shown or hidden. For example, this snippet is showing the element if the post title is sample page and hiding it otherwise. Another example I want to show you is the dynamic data condition. So let's open this and choose dynamic data. This lets us choose from any dynamic data that Oxygen allows. So for instance, we could choose post title, and then we could choose to show or hide this element based on whether it is not, contains, does not contain, is empty, or is not empty. And then we choose what to compare it to. For example, if we only want to show this when the title is sample page, we just type sample page over here. So you can see conditions in Oxygen are incredibly flexible. You can build members areas, you can build gated content like I mentioned before. You can also do time gated content like sale notices or badges. And basically anything you can imagine is achievable with conditions. But let me show you a practical example here. On this template, which is showing all of our key points for this website, we have a case studies area, which is showing data from an ACF repeater. Not all of the key points are going to have case studies, and we can't have case studies being displayed for every key point if there's no data down here. If we hop up to the front end on a key point where we do not have this repeated case study data, you can see we have this heading, but no data below it, which just doesn't look good. Lucky for us, using conditions, we can make our design intelligent. Let's jump back into Oxygen here. Now, this set of elements, which is in its own container, does not need to be shown if there are no case studies. So let's use conditions. Let's open the Conditions tab, click Edit Condition, add a condition, and then choose Dynamic Data. Once we've chosen that, we just find our repeater field, choose that, and we say we want to show this if case studies is not empty, and then apply the condition. Now we'll save, and we'll look at a key point where we do have some data to make sure everything's still showing up how we want it to. And if we scroll down, we see case studies followed by the data from the repeater. But if we go over to this one where we do not have case studies and refresh, you'll see that that case studies text is now hidden. So conditions allow you to not only customize your site based on users, but also make your designs reactive to the data that's available, which lets you build really resilient and robust components and designs, especially if you're allowing clients to edit content in the back end. With conditions, you can be sure everything looks correct no matter what data is entered, and that only what needs to be shown is shown to visitors.